Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Welcome back, and if you are new, thanks so much for checking out my channel. Please hit subscribe and stick around. We are just over a week away from welcoming in the new year. It is very cold here and very wintry, so I thought I would take a look back on 2022 and see how I did with the goals that I set for my channel and reading for 2022, and then I will look ahead to 2023 and let you know some of the plans for my channel and reading next year. So maybe let's start with the goals that I was successful in 2022. I would consider success in 4 of my goals. My Goodreads reading goal I had set for 85, and I don't necessarily use this as a goal I have to reach. It's really, there is something that I know I will be able to accomplish, so it's kind of cheating. I just like putting a number in so that I could have put in 12 or 50 and it really wouldn't matter. But I did surpass this goal. At the time that I am filming this video, I have read over 130 books, so I'm good there. Next, I judged the BookTube Prize for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. I judged for both fiction and translated fiction, and I read books that I wouldn't normally have read, so I really liked it for that. Because I misunderstood the rules around when we could talk about the books, I will say that I didn't really care for how I kind of handled that part, and I will rectify that going forward. The third goal was I said that I wanted to participate in more tags in 2022, and I definitely did that. I think I have done something like it's over 30 tags this year, and that's including 3 original tags. I created the Atwood adventure tag, which was after taking an entire year to read all of Margaret Atwood's writing in 2021. I created the spreading some BookTube love tag to spread some love around BookTube for BookTubers and subscribers. And then I did my first collaboration tag with my friend AJ from AJ Dunn Reads and Writes. Together we did the Think Twice book tag, which was great fun. So thanks to everyone who did those tags too. I will leave links to those playlists in the description box below, so you can go and see what other people have done if you haven't already. One of my biggest goals on this channel is to highlight and feature Canadian literature, and I hope that I was successful in that. I followed the literary prizes, I highlighted the Canada Reads debates, and I even had the opportunity to have a guided tour of the Calgary Public Library by one of the Canada Reads defenders, Canadian Olympian and LGBTQIA2S+ advocate Mark Tewksbury, and his partner Rob Mabey. So I will leave that library tour linked down below as well. I highlighted the Giller Prize, and this year I was kindly invited to participate in the Shadow Giller with Lindy from Lindy's Magpie Reads and Penny from Literary Hoarders, and that was fun. And in November I was able to chat with one of the Giller Prize jury members, author Wabgishik Rice, and I also talked a little about the Governor General's Literary Awards. I might do more of that, we'll see. And I sometimes mentioned the Stephen Leacock Award for Humor. So sometimes I do tags using only Canadian authors and books, so maybe I'll do more of that next year. And I just hope that people know that I love CanLit, and I really want to show off the amazing talent that we have here in Canada. Now, with all things, not everything went according to plan. I am grateful for these successes, but there were a few goals that I would say became more misadventures. No worries though, like no one was hurt along the way, but there were basically, I would say, 2 things that went awry. One of the goals was I had planned to continue doing something that was Margaret Atwood inspired, and I was going to do a series called Margaret Made Me Read It, and I did 1 or 2 of these videos, but I didn't stick with it, and I think partly because I didn't plan for it like I had with the Mondays with Margaret series. the year before. Like, that series took months of planning, and I put little effort into the Margaret made me read it idea. So that didn't take off really at all. Another plan last year was doing kind of a parallel series. One set of videos was called Reading All the Books, where I highlighted certain authors that I've read all of their books, and then I would rank them according to enjoyability. And I did a few of these videos, and they aren't always part of, I would say, the regularly scheduled Bookworm Adventure Girl calendar, but I think that I will continue to do these, once in a while, kind of scattered here and there. However, the parallel series called Reading All the Bookshelves didn't work as well as I had hoped. I did a few of these videos where I show like one compartment of my bookshelves, and I talk about those books on that shelf, whether I've read them or not, and they were fun to do. But it got a little tricky because the library, especially when I was first doing the shelves, right after we moved, and even still, like, the shelves are constantly changing. So I am currently in the midst of moving things around for the 128th time. So it didn't go as I had hoped. That being said, I am going to figure out a new way of doing this, because it was kind of a really great way for doing like bookshelf tours. So I'm still thinking on this one. So Margaret made me read it, and Reading All the Bookshelves, didn't work out, didn't go according to plan, but there were some surprise adventures that kind of sprung up. I did a series on book clubs based on the books that my own book club had read over its 10 plus years of existence. And I think I have one more video to add to that series, and then that will finish that particular series. Since our book club ended this year, I really won't have the same inspiration for the content. The second surprise was the book pairing series that just kind of happened, and I've been doing those. They are not my most watched videos, but they are a lot of fun and just even think about, and they inspired a few others to make videos on pairings, and doing the Think Twice book tag was inspired from them as well, which was great fun. So those are two series that were not on my radar, or in my planning when I was making plans last year, but they were a lot of fun to do. So what's the scoop for 2023? Well, I do have a few plans, and I'm hoping that some of it works out. There are the BookTube Staples that are staying the same. I will continue to do a haul and wrap-up video every month, like I always have. For Bookworm Adventure Girl, there's also the staples of the haul revisits. And I will do my regular checking in every 4 months to tell you my top 10 books read during that time period. And in the past, I've also done a top 10 reads of the entire year. And this year I am doing that, but I'm doing it a little bit differently. And it's inspired by Gemma from Gemma of Books, something that she did last year. So stay tuned for that. I will be putting out my top books video in, I would say, the first day or two of 2023. Maybe the most obvious thing staying the same that's important to my channel is that I will continue highlighting and featuring Canadian literature. I will still be following Canada Reads and the Giller Prize, maybe some of the other prizes. I also signed up again to judge the BookTube Prize. So this year I only signed up for the fiction category, so I hope to judge at least a few rounds this year. So all of that remains the same. So I guess the biggest goal that I have this year is to read more from my shelves. I am not doing any of the challenges that I know a lot of other booktubers are doing. It's kind of all over the place. I don't have any plans to do a challenge or fun game or anything to share with you like that. This is just something for me that I have committed to myself to make an honest effort to really make sure that I'm reading what I already own. I watched Steve Donahue and Micah they were chatting about BookTube and reading, and Micah made a comment that really stuck with me, and it was about wanting to be able to have books on his shelf that were already read. And Steve's experience is that, you know, the vast majority of books that Steve has are read, and he can't imagine it being like the reading life that I live, where, you know, I think I've probably read over half of the books on my shelves, but it's not the vast majority. So there is still a high percentage of unread books. This does not mean that I won't buy new books, but I am going to be more conscientious about how much I spend on the newest and shiniest and brightest and sparkliest book, especially if it's going to sit around unread for months at a time on my shelves. So I think looking ahead to next year, my hauls will be smaller, and you will most likely see in my videos that I will be talking about the books that I already have on my shelves. So the other two reading goals that I have are, I'm going to call them reading projects. I have two of them, and they will both take the entire year. One of them I am doing with my best BookTube buddy, AJ, from AJ Dunn Reads and Writes. And we have kind of dropped a few hints over the last, I would say, few months about what this project is all about. And we will be officially kicking this off and sharing all of the details before the end of January. So if you are a Toni Morrison fan, or if you are just curious about what it is that we're up to, then stay tuned for that announcement. The second reading project is a series I introduced last week called Reading Across Canada 2023. Thank you to everyone who has already shown an interest in this project. It will be so much fun to read across Canada with all of you. The main idea of this project is to read more Canadian literature, more CanLit. The project is set up to read 12 Canadian books throughout the year that are connected to all of the Canadian provinces and territories. You are welcome to join in. I will leave a link to that introduction video and to the prompts poster in the description box below. I will also leave links in this video and add links. Maybe I'll go back and add links to the introduction video where you can look up Canadian authors and books. Emily reached out to me, and she has added the challenge on Storygraph. I have not always gotten along with Storygraph, so I am so grateful for Emily's help. And I have, I would say, resurrected a group that I had at one time on Goodreads, and I added the challenge there as well. And then I've also included in that challenge putting any books that you have recommended so far, at least on the bookshelf, for that challenge in Goodreads. So I will leave links to both of those as well. They are helpful if you're looking for more recommendations and for this challenge or really anything. So as with making any plans, things are always flexible. I have a few ideas for some new series, but nothing quite concrete yet. If there's something that you are hoping to see, or something that you come to my channel for that you want to make sure that I continue doing, then please let me know. I am so grateful to all of you. I have appreciated the buddy reads and the group reads and chatting with you on Voxer and Discord and email and in the comments. So I want this space to be one where everyone feels welcome. It always surprises me how BookTube and the BookTube community have become such a big part of my life. So I'm looking forward to another great year with book lovers and good books. Please let me know what some of your reading goals and plans are for 2023. Are there any books or reading challenges or maybe book events that you are most excited about? I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.